The U.S. launches its first space station, Sony releases the Betamax recorder, and the first commercial astronaut heads to space. It all happened this week in tech history. This week in 1927, the Hotel Statler in Boston, Massachusetts became the first hotel to install radio service, allowing its guests to listen to classic radio programs. It was a two-channel system, with the guest selecting a channel on the receiver, then either listening with a headset or the radio's loudspeaker. It cost the hotel $50,000 to install radios in each of its 1,300 rooms, and another $750,000 to install the service in the chain's 6 other hotels. In 1928 this week, WGY-TV in Schenectady, New York began the first schedule of regular TV programs. It was a very short schedule, in fact. WGY offered programming to the upstate New York audience 3 times a week using the mechanical scanning method. And mechanical scanning wasn't to be the wave of the future. It was electrical scanning, developed by Philo Farnsworth, that would make television available to the masses. This week in 1973, Skylab was launched by NASA from Kennedy Space Center. Skylab was the first space station launched by the United States and the only one to be exclusively operated by the U.S. Skylab included a workshop, a solar observatory, and other systems necessary for crew survival and scientific experiments. Skylab's re-entry in 1979 was an international media phenomenon, with souvenirs for sale that included a bottle of Skylab repellent that came with a money-back guarantee if you were to be hit by a piece of debris. The parts of Skylab that didn't burn up on re-entry landed in mostly unpopulated areas of Western Australia. One county fined NASA $400 for littering, which went unpaid until 2009 when it was paid on behalf of NASA with funds raised by a morning radio show. In 1975 this week, Sony introduced the Betamax video cassette recorder. This also spurned the intense videotape format war with JVC's Video Home System or VHS format. This format war was very similar to the Apple-IBM rivalry, as early on Sony insisted on keeping their technology proprietary, and JVC welcomed a more open-source approach, where they would license the technology to their competitors. VHS ultimately won the format war, and despite this, Betamax production and sales lasted 41 years, until Sony finally pulled the plug in March of 2016. And this week in 2004, the Spaceship One rocket, developed by Scaled Composites in Mojave, California, and piloted by Mike Melville, climbed to 211,400 feet, becoming the first privately funded vehicle to reach the edge of space. This flight also made Melville the first commercial astronaut in history. That's our look back at This Week in Tech History, brought to you by IFA in Berlin.
IFA, the Global Innovations Show. Meet the official partner of the future in Berlin.
Visit us online at intotomorrow.com, where you can find out how to listen to our weekly 3-hour Into Tomorrow radio show, subscribe to our free podcast, and participate and win. Catch you next time on This Week in Tech History.